o'clock. Call this meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you everyone for coming to this kind of short notice meeting, but we have to abide by the deadlines. So we're here to look at candidates for filling the seat on the school committee, and three candidates are Ms. Jennifer Gilman, Mr. Ralph Kay, who is here in person tonight, and Mr. Matt Grant. Since Ms. Gilman's name is first on the list, we received her resume, and she's a resident here in North Brookfield. Her education is at Pittsburgh State University she's working on her master's in occupational education starting in 2019. Previously, a Bachelor of Science in Occupational and Vocational Education with a minor in Business Administration. Also at Quinsigamond Community College and a graduate of Keene Beauty Academy. And she has a list of licenses: educator's license, vocational technical supervisor and director, cosmetology license instructor, registered booth shop license, hairdresser, cosmetologist, one MAVA Leadership Academy, MAVA Textured Hair Professional Development Training, and Sheltered English Immersion. And then presently serving as a department head at Franklin Technical High School, teaching 11th and 12th grade shop. So that is our first candidate for consideration. And our second candidate is here, Mr. Ralph Kay. Thank you for coming here tonight.
Thank you very much.
Please introduce yourself.
Please, be happy to. Thank you for welcoming me. My name is Ralph Kay. I live on 147 Ward Street. With my wife, we lived here for a little over 6 years. I have 3 grown children and 6 grandchildren. As far as school, I graduated from Nichols College with a degree in business administration and Western New England University with a master's in math and education. I worked in the insurance industry for about 17 years, and then I became a school teacher. I was a high school math teacher for about 25 years. And I retired about a year and a half ago. I was always brought up with the values to give to your town. And while I was raising my kids, I was involved in coaching primarily and other activities with the kids, whatever the kids are involved in. Now the kids are grown and gone. I'm retired, so I've been looking for opportunities to try to help out this town because we really like it here in North Brookfield. And I wasn't sure what to do. I checked the website occasionally to see what was out there, and there wasn't really much that would match me. And then I saw something about an opening for a school committee member. I think it was on a Facebook page, North Brookfield Happenings or something like that. And so I said I was interested because I was a teacher and I have some background, and I have time. So that's why I'm here, because I want to give to the town whatever I can.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Kay? Been on school committee before?
No, I have not been on this committee before. I've been on committees, different work, insurance committee for school, Spencer School District when I taught there. I started teaching in Quabog, then I went to Bay Path, and then Prouty, and I ended my last 10 years was at Oakmont in Ashburnham, Westminster School District. I was on different committees, insurance committee, advisory committee, so because of my insurance background, it just kind of fit. I was the math department head when I retired, so I was involved in a lot of things, but I've never done on school committee. I know there's a lot going on here school-wise, so yeah, there's a lot. And so whatever I can do to help, I'm more than willing to. You know, we enjoyed living here and would like to participate.
Nice.
What sports did you coach?
Soccer and softball. I coached You're ready. Softball or soccer?
The soccer.
Soccer. I coached it. I just recently retired. This past year, was my first year retiring from coaching. I coached it mostly at Prouty, right? I also coached at Anna Maria College. Prouty, we won the state championship once. Now we're awful. So.
I think after COVID, all the schools were.
Yeah, most schools really dropped down. I was athletic director here 1 year, about 6 years ago. When we moved here, our family was going through a lot of stuff, and I had to resign. I didn't have the time to do a good job and handle my family issues at the same time. So I enjoyed it. I really liked the school. I liked the people that I worked with. I was not happy that I had to resign, but I did. Sheila, I worked closely with Sheila when she was here, because she had been the outgoing athletic, she and secretary in the office, I can't remember her name. They were athletic directors, and then it was just too much for them, so I did, and Sheila was a real help to me, learning, you know, ins and outs, and who to call, and when to call, and all that. She was a big help. Now she's not even in the school anymore, right? She's in town.
Well, she still coaches.
Still coaches.
Yeah,
Oh, she's still coaching.
Field
Yeah,
trip.
she won't give that up.
We have an athletic hall of fame in the school.
No, we don't.
We started with Sheila.
Yeah, right.
She's been coaching that for a long time.
Yeah.
Long, long time.
20, 25, 26 years, something like that.
Maybe. Anything else?
Anything else, Joe?
I didn't realize
I just asked questions that I was
resume. I didn't realize I should have brought a resume.
It's okay, it's
Oh, it's okay.
not required, just what you
So
said.
this is, now this would be, this is only just a temporary kind of appointment thing. You'd have to, you know, if you get on the committee, well, even if you don't get on the committee, you can still pull papers to run because the election's coming up in May.
Oh, it's just in a few months?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're trying to, you know, keep the committee whole until
That
that
makes sense.
happens. But there's a town election coming up soon. And so.
It's my spot. That's up.
But would, this spot would also be up.
Yes.
We have to,
Oh, I thought I saw a paper. And yours is spot is up there?
no, it's the spot that,
Oh, that one,
yes,
yes, of course.
that
yeah.
spot. No, my, John and I think, or no, Dan and I are at the same time.
Hmm. John was just last year.
So it's a
Yeah.
5-person committee, and there's 2 every,
It's every 3 years,
3 years,
we have a term. So Dan and I are the same year, and then John and Nancy,
Yep.
no,
Nancy, I think was it. Tanya got in prior to me, then I was appointed when Matt Grant left.
yeah, it was like a month later.
Yeah. So,
It gets confusing because it's a 3-year term,
Yeah.
but then, for instance, Nancy's was already 7 months in. Do you know what I mean? So then you finish it out till May, and so there's 2 years left if you get that spot. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so.
Yeah, I
so
have
it's
to check though,
confusing.
because I think you need, yeah, so you'd be running for a 2-year term, basically, is what it would be.
Yeah.
And
That's
the idea
correct.
being that you don't want to elect the whole school committee all at once,
Mhm.
because you potentially turn over all 5 people, nobody knows what's going on, and that causes a lot of chaos, so. A little continuity is nice.
In preparation for tonight, I went onto the DESE website, looked up some statistics. It was pretty interesting. You know, a lot of stuff there.
In terms of,
Say it, Tanya, interesting in what way?
yeah.
Well, some of it, you know, you can't put too much stock into one thing. So you look at the numbers, you know, the number of students, the number of teachers, the salaries, how we're performing and things like that. So compare that to other towns and that are local. And also, so I did that. I brought all that in case somebody was talking about it, but and then, and I don't know exactly what happened with regionalization. There was discussion with Quabog and.
Yeah. We had voted to put it, to let the town vote on it, and the very same night we voted on it, they shot it down. They voted against even sending it to the town, to their towns for vote. So,
Their school committee shut it down?
yes, their district.
Did they say why?
I think their concerns were over, finances. They're concerned about absorbing North Brookfield finances, and which I don't think was I think I voiced my opinion in the next meeting that I don't think it was a fair decision to not give the towns their say in the matter, and because I think it should be put up to a vote of the people rather than just the committees on what ifs.
Well, not only that, not only a vote of the committees, but a discussion with the voters of what the process is and the finances are. Because I said at the meeting when we voted on it that this is just a step to push it to the next point where we then present it to the towns and explain what the nuts and bolts of it are. Because it was, in my opinion, I can't speak for everyone else at the table, but in my opinion, us as a school committee were to make sure what we were presenting to the townspeople was fair, which I felt it was, and then it's on them, because they're the voters, they're the taxpayers who are gonna be paying for that, and to not even let it get to that point where the voters have a say, I didn't think
There was, I think it was 6-3, right? There were 3 people said that they voted against shooting it down because they wanted to bring it to the town.
And there were a couple that
too.
abstained from voting too.
Because they have a huge school committee, it's outrageous
Well,
over there, it's huge.
It's kind of strange because it's not like a whole lot of kids. And they'd be getting money that would be normally spent here, would be kicked over there.
Right, there'd be consolidation of infrastructure and resources, there'd be, an opportunity for educators here in our district to move there, I think. And that would be all part of the discussion, and
A discussion that anyone not on the regionalization committee, or like Mr. McCormick, I attended a bunch too, there were some other people that did attend the meetings, but without being at those meetings, you don't know all the other stuff. Like there's just what you see on the public school committee.
Doesn't it need to at least get to the point where voters know what it means in their pocket? Like how much is it going to cost us, or how much is it going to save, or anything like that? Same for the Quabog.
You can watch the meeting, it's kind of interesting the way they shot it down. Yeah, it looked like there was a lot more behind the scenes, I think, honestly, the way they were talking about it.
And didn't a lot of the kids already
Yeah.
school choice to there?
Yeah.
We have a lot of our kids.
Yeah.
because people assumed that it was happening.
Yeah.
And so they jumped the gun and school choice their kids out of this.
Well, they put a bus stop in town.
Yes. So it was like,
So they are getting money.
So they're
This
getting
way they
money.
got money without the risk and,
Yeah.
yeah, so.
That's not good.
Mhm.
What's the next step?
Budget season.
rabbit season. Yeah, so now it's a discussion of the budget, and we've got the select board telling us we need to make major cuts and changes, and, kind of threw a curveball at us in this last meeting, so we've got a lot to,
I watched that meeting
Mhm.
on YouTube, and it wasn't really fun to watch, and I'm not even sure that some of the numbers that were thrown out, and a lot of them were accurate.
yes, I'm disappointed, because had I known, like, the the item on the agenda was discussing the meeting. We were gonna be setting up a meeting, an informational session, so the townspeople could see the school budget and what the plans are for the upcoming year. And I thought that's what that item on the agenda was about. And had I known they were gonna just say, no, we're not even doing it, I would have gone. And because how it was discussed, there was a lot of information left out of the picture. And I don't think it was presented in a fair light.
Well, I don't think so. When I saw the meeting and I started to do some digging, and some of the numbers that he put on the board weren't even accurate.
Like the income
For,
from them?
for instance, when, you know, I'm sure those numbers are accurate, but at the same time, a person's, you know, the median income for a single individual is like 30-something thousand.
32.
Fine, that's a single person's income. What about the income of people that actually own property in town and are paying the taxes? What's the median income there? That's the number that matters, because those are the people that are be affected by an override. And those are the people whose vote matters, because they're the ones that ultimately bear the burden. And to not even have the opportunity for those people to say yes or no, with the chairman declaring that he would not entertain any discussion on an override, I think is very disappointing. And I think, I don't think that the numbers were presented fairly. It paints a more dismal picture of the town than I think is actually accurate. And at the same time, to suggest that rather preemptively, that people should start school choice in their children out of high school, 7 through 12, and for us to start looking at shutting down the school and somehow figuring out a way to move the entire 7 through 12 grades off to however many surrounding towns is even more of a hurdle to jump than regionalization. Because that was one district. We were negotiating with one district. And here we are being presented with potentially having to negotiate with multiple districts simultaneously. And for, you know, for redistricting, that was a 4+ year long process. And how much longer of a process would it be to negotiate tuitioning out the students to however many districts?
Right.
And
Probably cost more. Huh?
yeah, in the long term.
Well, but also, what do we do in the meantime?
Right.
Like,
Right.
We need a
it's,
budget for next year.
there's still next year. I've been in a lot of budget conversations over the last couple of years, and the number of times I've heard, what about regionalization? And the number of times that I've talked to Mr. McCormick and said, we do not want to think about regionalization right now, because he has to run the school as it is.
Right.
We need to advocate for what's best for the students that are staying in the school. And there are some kids here who are thriving in this school.
Amen.
It fits the size of classes they want. The teachers have a relationship with them you don't get in some of the bigger schools. And it allows the teachers an opportunity to better understand what helps them learn, which when you're in a class of, you know, when every class you attend has 30 or 40 kids in it.
Is very different.
But again, it parallels the regionalization thing where, you know, everyone talks about the basis of democracy is an informed electorate. And if you do not even give them the opportunity to become informed of what they're about to vote on, or give them the chance to vote on it, I think that kind of cheapens the entire process.
Well, it slants it, certainly, it puts a slant to what he wanted to get across his agenda, that median income was 31, 32.
Change,
Does that include the senior housing residents? I mean,
Well,
where do those numbers come from?
I understand there are a large number of people on fixed incomes, fine.
Sure.
But there's also, again, how many of those are property owners? And then the other portion that was not even discussed were the businesses in town. What is their tax burden compared to residential tax burdens? And there's a lot of questions and a lot of gray areas that were not addressed. And for me, like, like you were saying, to take away the people's opportunity to be informed and to vote on it is, I don't think it's proper.
And to ask the question.
Yeah.
You know, it's an opportunity for dialogue instead of a monologue,
Yes.
is what we were all hoping for.
And the other thing, this is a little off topic, but 1 in 4 people can't pay their sewer bill? That was a strange, what does that mean for the rest of us who are paying our sewer bill? And then that huge tax increase because of sewer upgrades and.
Last time I checked, when your bill was overdue, went to collections. Where's the collections agency for the sewer bill?
I think they put a lien on the houses.
Okay. I don't know what the recourse is there, but yeah. I haven't, I just bought my house, so I haven't yet not paid a bill.
Yeah, just pay it.
So some of what we've said here will probably get the school some attention, Ralph, but the big thing is like, this right here, if you look around this room, this is typical school committee attendance. This is a special meeting on a Friday night. It's being recorded, but this is the typical public engagement with the school until it comes time to talk about this stuff.
Right.
Or
if it changes that
to
stuff.
go on Facebook.
Yeah, the only other way you hear any kind of feedback is Facebook, or, or if something's on the agenda where someone has something to present,
Right.
or the students attended a class trip, that's when we have other people in this room. That's generally the only time we have an audience.
Are there kids representatives?
Yes, we have a student representative, and
He's awesome.
the student council has historically done a great job.
Dante's great.
Yeah, he's good.
They've done a great job presenting what all the things they're up to and all the programs they're running and fundraisers and events for the students.
They do a lot. The kids,
They put in a lot.
and Mr. Giorio, I've heard nothing but good things about Mr. Giorio in the high school and what these kids think of him and,
The kids love him.
yeah.
See the
Yeah. He's the principal, and the programs that he comes up with, and his engagement with the students, and it's really.
And we've got Mr. Murphy at the elementary school,
Yep.
Principal Murphy, and then our new Director of Student Services, Amy Emery. They both started July of last year, and they've dived right in, and they've been doing a great job with the students.
I've seen at big schools where, like Oakmont has something around 1,200 kids, Bay Path has around 1,200 kids. To me, those are big schools. Proudy, not so much. And here, the year that I was involved here, it takes a lot more creativity to make the atmosphere and energy flow, and that happens here. Or it did when I was athletic director. The gym was packed for basketball games, and a lot of people would go to watch softball games, and a lot of involvement. And it takes a lot of, the bigger schools, they can get by without, the leadership doesn't have to be as creative. They don't have to try so hard because there's enough kids and parents that are energetic enough that want things to happen, they just kind of carry the ball. That's what I've seen. I don't know if that's accurate enough, but what I'm trying to say is what happens here is really impressive. They do a great job here, from what I've seen.
Shout out to the PTO too, they do a good job.
Yep.
PTOs.
I was on another committee I'd forgotten about. There was a committee that would meet monthly. It was, there were parents, students, and administrators would meet. It wasn't a PTO, would meet once a month. I forgot the name of it, but it was like a
School council?
Yeah, it's in school council, is exactly what it was. I served on that for a couple of years, and it was interesting. We talked about things that I'm not so sure we needed to talk about, but that's just the way it goes. Like dress code, throw out the dress code. No, bring the dress code. So, there's a lot to be done, right, as
Yeah.
far as that is concerned. Where do you think it's gonna go? Yeah.
Yeah.
So once I don't know, is it at a crossroads where either it's gonna go regionalization or it's not?
No, the regionalization it's done.
Oh,
We had a grant-funded study to determine which district was the best fit for us.
Oh,
Quabog was determined to be the best fit for us. So at this point, that whole grant study, which was done 4 years ago, 5 years ago, pre-COVID, or started then, is, that's it. That's it, we'd have to do the whole thing again, we would need another grant and all that other stuff. And that study took 2 years, I think. It was a long study to get that one done. And then the process of negotiating the contract and everything else was another 2.5, 3 years process. Nothing, it's the government, nothing moves quickly.
right.
And it's just one of those things that, in the meantime, we got a school, we got kids that are doing a really good job here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And kids that are really making the most of their time at this district. I don't think that that dwelling on the number of graduates gets us anywhere, as opposed to dwelling on the accomplishments of those graduates.
Quality over quantity.
Yes, yes.
Right. Right. Yeah, there's some Brookfield graduates that are doing very well,
Yep.
ones that I know of.
That's all I have for Mr. K.
What years were you at Baytown?
Oh, I was afraid you'd ask.
Yeah.
I was there during September 11th,
Oh.
so that I know, because we watched it that day.
Oh, my
So
God.
Each room had a TV, so,
I had kids, 3 that graduated from there, but that wasn't that long ago. It was what, 2014 to 2022?
I was there 2000 to 2006, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and my first job was at Quabog. I hadn't even passed the license, but I knew one of the other teachers there. They needed a math teacher, so I was able to slide in. And I was there for 2 years. It was 7th grade math, and then I was the only 7th grade math teacher. And then they had a position for a business teacher, and it was significant improvement in my salary. So I went for that job. And talking with the vice principal and the department head, they said, well, how come you're not applying for the math? I said, well, I don't have a math background other than, whatever. And they said, well, we think you'd be better in math. I said, so, okay. So I did. I was there for 6 years, I think, and then I went to Prouty. I graduated from there. I was still coaching there, and I didn't have duties because I had the block scheduling where Bay Path, you were dutied like crazy. And so just personally, for selfish reasons, I'm teaching math here, I'm teaching math there, it's the same thing to me, but I made more money and it was better for me. So, and then I got pink slipped after 4 years, but I was fortunate that there was a spot at Knox Trail that had opened up in 8th grade, so I went 7th and 8th grade. And so I moved over there. I did not like the junior high kids. Some teachers love the junior high kids.
Not many.
Some don't. Yeah, it's just a tough age.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to find the position in high school where they were, we're not hiring at the top of the matrix. So I was able to get a job at Oakmont, and so that worked out better. A little bit of a ride, but right now a ride, but it's better than driving to Boston, take back roads. Anything else?
I'm good. That's it, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll just leave. Is that what I do, just leave?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
we'll announce, before we leave, we want to announce that, or I could move that we go to executive session to discuss the
We have to
candidates.
talk about Matt Grant as an applicant first, or no? Do you have,
Um,
because you told about resumes and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't receive a resume from Matt Grant.
Okay.
But He's a previous school committee member.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would move that we go to executive session to discuss our recommendation for the Board of Selectmen, only returning to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, wait, so we have to roll call it.
Tom?
What do I do?
Okay.
Oh.
No, we.
Should I leave?
Yes.
Yeah, you can leave. We just have to formally end the meeting and roll call vote our way into the
Okay.
executive session.
Thank you very much for your time, I appreciate it.
Nice meeting you, Ralph.
all.
Thank you very much.
And then how is he notified?
We have his email.
Yeah.
Just by when, what we voting tonight, right? Is that
Yeah,
what
we're
doing?
gonna discuss it and
Okay.
then John will send it.
Okay, all
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
They want to.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we have to roll call. Go ahead, Dan.
Dan.
Aye. Tony Matthews, aye.
Tim Canada, aye.
John Gary, aye.
Have a good night, everyone.